What's going on, guys? This is Kaishiro, welcome back. So we are back with another video. For this video, we're going to cover Yu-Gi-Oh! Japan Championship 2023. So this is the tournament that decided who are going to be the representatives of Japan for the World Championship this 2023 on August. So yeah, as you can see, this is an article made by Akira from Road of the King. Shoutouts to them for making this wonderful article. And the participants are only 64, but it was an invitational tournament to begin with, and these players are the topping players from the area qualifiers that they have on their community. So for the format, we have single elimination, and then bottom 4 players of the quarterfinals will continue in the losers bracket. So this tournament has losers bracket, no? And then top 5 players are invited to the Yu-Gi-Oh! World Championship 2023 that is going to be held on Japan as well. So yeah, the top 5 went to the World Championship. So these are the names and their decks that won the tournament. But we will go forward towards their deck list. So at first we have Hasegawa Akira, Purely. So Purely won the Japan Championship tournament. So this speaks volume on how Purely is a very good deck, a really strong deck that you can bring into the tournament and win events from this deck. And many players doubted this Purely, to be honest, at first, because there's a lot of outs for the Purely. You have Kaijus, and then Kurikara, and then you have Herald of the Abyss and XYZ Encore. So there's a lot of silver bullets that you can use against this deck to out their X Purely Nor. But yeah, I think that Purely is a very strong deck, and it can definitely outweigh those negative factors when piloting this deck. And also, Hasegawa Akira only played one back row removal for this event, only one red reboot. So he probably doesn't anticipate other back row decks like Runic or even Eldritch and sometimes Labyrinth to top this tournament. So yeah, I think that his decklist is pretty neat. Quite standard decklist of Purely, 2 Desires and Pot of Prosperity on the main deck. Really standard, and then 3 Purely Leap. I think the red reboot can also function on countering this Purely Leap on mirror matches, because this is a trap card and this is a very crucial card for the Purely. And on his extra deck, he opted to play the Delta and Gamma package of the Psy-Frame on his side deck. I think this is a very wise choice from Hasegawa Akira, because Delta answers a lot of meta relevant decks right now. Purely matchups, you can use Delta to deal against the Purely Mirror. And then it is also good on Rescue Ace, you can stop the emergency. And also good on Branded, you can definitely stop the Branded Fusion. So yeah, you can definitely tell that this Delta and Gamma is very well taught on the side deck. And a plethora of hand traps as well. We have Retaliating Sea, and then Triple Effect Veiler. And on his going first card, he opted to play Summon Limit instead of those Judgments and Dimensional Barrier. I really agree with this logic, because I think Solemn Judgment and Dimensional Barrier is pretty subpar. This format, you want to have cards like Summon Limit that really floodgates your opponent. So yeah, I think this is a very wise choice from Hasegawa Akira. And his decklist is very perfect for me. I don't really see any flaw on this deck, and it's really an captivating decklist, to be honest. So moving forward, we have Sakamoto Kazuya with second place with Rescue Ace. So this also is a very good deck. Many players piloted this deck on Duelist Cup tournaments and Duelist Cup main event. There's a lot of Rescue Ace that did well on those tournaments, and you can definitely agree with this one, because you can see a lot of tops of Rescue Ace on prior tournaments before this Japan Championship on the locals of Japan, and even in the country of Philippines, Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia. Rescue Ace has been very dominant on the local scene. So yeah, I think that it is agreeable that you want to put your trust on a deck that is winning on a regular basis. So yeah, on this deck list, the most notable thing here was playing Shifter on the main deck. Very insane against Purely, against Tearlaments, against Earth Good Stuff. So yeah, Shifter can be very good on the current format. And then it is also notable that he plays Ghost Ogre. I don't really regard Ghost Ogre that much on the current format, but he's probably the better player than I am. So yeah, I'll go with Ghost Ogre on his list and DD Crow as well. And reinforce on the main deck. Many players don't do this, but I think he saw the significance and value of this card when going first for his deck list. So yeah, really notable from Sakamoto. And on the extra deck, he doesn't play the Proxy, F Magician, and Mad Dragon Fusion. So he is not going to the Proxy F play. Instead, he wants to set up, I guess, IP Mascarena into something like Apollousa or Unicorn, or even Sunlight Wolf. So yeah, he doesn't play the Proxy F. That is very notable. And on his side deck, he plays Cosmic Cyclone and Feather Duster. So I really agree with this one. And I really like this fact from Sakamoto because he really respects back row. And he played some going first cards for Rescue Ace, Solemn Judgment, and Dimensional Barrier. I think that Solemn Judgment is really good card on this Rescue Ace because you want to protect your board from Duster, from Lightning Storm, from Evenly. So it is really a good card to protect your board. But I would like to beg to differ with this option on Solemn Judgment. I think it covers more ground, but I would prefer Lancea over this one because most of the time you are only playing around evenly match on most occasions, and Lancea can be also good on mirror matches of Rescue Ace. So I would prefer Lancea over this Solemn Judgment. But nonetheless, this is a pretty solid list from Sakamoto. And then moving on, we have Yamashita Keijiro Labyrinth. So I remember this guy, to be honest. This is the guy that jailed the third copy of Fractal into the ban list. He won the Japanese Championship Tournament last 2021, if I'm remembering correctly. And if I'm correct, I think this is the same player that won with Branded Tri Brigade. So yeah, when I watched his play on the finals, I was really mind blown on how good he is on this game, to be honest. I remember that he preserved that Maxi. He just baited the Call by the Grave of his opponent on Ash Blossom when playing his kit, I guess, or Resquat. So yeah, Maxi is really the win condition that really made him the champion on that tournament for me. But yeah, this time he played Labyrinth. So I think Labyrinth is a really solid deck with the inclusion of transaction rollback. The deck got more better and more resilient and even more consistent, and he plays Ishizu cards on the main deck. Many players drop the Ishizu cards, but I think I really see the value of Ishizu cards on the main deck of Labyrinth because it is very good on Tier Elements, which is the best deck, by the way, on Road of the King article, most recent article, and also can be good on mirror matches, even on mirror matches and of Labyrinth and Purely as well, and Earth Good stuff. Those matches that needs graveyard interactions. I think this is a very nice choice from Yamashita Keijiro. And doesn't play Prosperity, I think extra is enough. I really agree with this one. And then only to big welcome Labyrinth. I think you don't need the third copy because you have a big welcome, or rather welcome Labyrinth, because you have the big welcome and you also have transaction rollback. So yeah, I think that is pretty decent. And only one utility card on the main deck, like Dimensional Barrier. He opted to play a plethora of traps like Ash Blossom, Maxi, and Imperm. So really notable from this Yamashita Keijiro. And he plays the other utility traps on the side deck, like this IDP and different dimension ground. And he plays XYZ Encore. Really good from him because I think Purely are playing once again their field spell. Yeah, so they are much more convenient against Kurikara and Kaiju. So I think that XYZ Encore is the right call for this Labyrinth deck list. And yeah, I think the side deck is pretty solid. He even plays the Dark Barrier Statue. So yeah, I think this is a really spicy one from Keijiro. He really wants to stun when going first. And he has a lot of hand traps as well to cover the meta, like Droll for Purely and the Bestials for Tier Elements, and even rogues like Matmech. I think this is a very commendable side deck from Keijiro. And he is my bet on the World Championship, to be honest. Because he qualified for the World Championship. And I really think that Keijiro will definitely go further towards the World Championship tournament this August. And he is my favorite to win the tournament. But yeah, moving on, we have Higuchi Mizuki, another purely. So this guy begged to differ for the recent trend of purely ditching their discard fathers like the Dark World. Like this Hasegawa Akira, he doesn't play the Bridge package and the Dark World package. So yeah, this Higuchi Mizuki begged to differ. He played the Dark World but only at 2. And yeah, I think only to Dark Purely as well. And he doesn't play the Desires and Prosperity. Instead, he opted to play Talents and Trust on the main deck. I think it is a wise choice as well because you can see that the side deck of many people are catered around hand traps like this Sakamoto. He have Veiler here on his side deck and Ghost Bell. And then also this Keijiro, he plays Droll, Crow, and Ogre. So I think Trust and Talents are very valid on this list of Higuchi Mizuki. And yeah, I think this is a really good take as well on the current format. And then on his side deck, he plays Dark Ruler No More because I think that purely have a weak going second capability, to be honest. They would rely on getting Zeus as much as possible. But I think the purely strategy is a deck that you don't need to rely on Zeus that much, to be honest. If you really know this deck, I think you will less rely that much on Zeus. If you are very adept on this deck, you would less likely see Zeus as a very good card on this deck. I think Zeus is a card that is only a resiliency card here for drawbacks on purely. And I think it's not the win condition of this deck when going second. But yeah, I think Dark Ruler No More is very sufficient here to answer very heavy combo decks like the Emancipator, Earth Good Stuff, and something like Tearlaments. And yeah, very nice list from Higuchi. And then moving on, we have the 5th place. We have Kaneko Daiki, Ishizuka Shiro Tearlaments. So I guess he is the 5th person that qualified for the World Championship tournament. Yeah, this for the top 4 and the 5th place from the lower bracket tournament. I think he is the final qualifier of Japan on the Worlds. So yeah, Kashtira Engine on Tearlaments, he plays the Unicorn and then the Birth and the Paraisos. So yeah, pretty standard. I think many players have played this Kashtira Engine towards the Tearlaments, and he plays also the Swamp on the main deck. So he patronizes the polymerization play on these Tearlaments. 41 card main deck, pretty concise for Tearlaments and really solid as well. And then on his side deck, he played Pankrataps. I really commend his option for playing Pankrataps because I think that Pankrataps can be very crucial for occasions that you need to out floodgates like this Skill Drain or other floodgate cards and floodgate monsters on the field. So I think that Pankrataps is a very respectable option here from Daiki. And then he plays Grass Looks Greener on the side deck. Maybe he wants to play this on mirror matches when the opponents are thin on the deck. So he wants to capitalize on that situation. And yeah, triple imperm as well. Very good hand trap on the current format. I think I agree with this one. So moving on, we have 6th place here. We have Mikanko Phantom Knights. So I really feel sad for this guy, but he really made a very notable top on this tournament despite missing out on World Championship tournament. So yeah, I think he did a pretty solid job on this tournament, especially using a very controversial and rogue deck like Phantom Knights Mikanko. So I think the going first of this deck is really solid. You have ways to bring out the Ronguminad, which is if your opponent doesn't have XYZ Encore, they are already in a really bad spot. And you have cards like Mikanko to bolster your going second and it can even extend your plays when going first. So I think this is a pretty unusual list from this player, but I think this works well. To be honest, I have seen Mekanko Phantom Knight stops recently, and this deck became a revelation after that Japan Championship Tournament 2023. Many players pick up this deck, and they are inspired, to be honest, from this top 6 finish on this Japan Championship Tournament. And really unusual as well on the side deck, he plays Book of Eclipse. Many players doesn't regard this card, to be honest, and his maxi 2 copies are on the side deck as well, and patronizes Nibiru over XYZ Encore. He played the Light Kaijus over the XYZ Encore to answer purely matchups. So yeah, really insane ratios and options from this player. And then moving on, we have Rescues again. So this time this player played Veiler on the main deck and doesn't play the Reinforce, to be honest. And also he plays Forbidden Droplet. I think Forbidden Droplet is pretty underrated. I think this card is really insane against tier elements. Tier elements are focused around on bringing out boss monsters that has negations like Dragostapellia and interruptions like Rulkalos and Galaido. So yeah, I think Droplet is very viable here, and evenly matched as well, very strong on Rescue X matchups and Labyrinth matchups as well. And you have Ghost Bell and DD Grow to answer the meta-relevant decks. So really solid decklist here for the Rescue X player that finished 7 on this tournament. And then moving on, we have my favorite player of probably all time. We have Koki Kosaka, the world champion of 2019 and the current defending world champion. It is really sad that he didn't qualify for this world championship 2023, but I heard rumors that he is going along with his friend on the Master Duel World Championship Tournament. I think it's just a rumor and I cannot confirm it, but yeah, I heard those rumors before. And yeah, Koki Kosaka is my idol because when I got back into the game after a very long time, the last time I played this game was 2010, I guess, and it's just background Yu-Gi-Oh with just my friends on my elementary school. I just started playing competitively last 2021, and the first match that I have saw or watched was the World Championship 2019 with Koki Kosaka and Wang Chaching on the finals of 2019 Worlds, and they're on Salaman Great Mirror match, and I was really dwelled or something like loved towards his game because he's really a good player, and he made the Yu-Gi-Oh more interesting for me. So yeah, I'm really sad that he didn't qualify for the Worlds. But yeah, he really top on this tournament as 8th place. So it is not a really sad factor, but yeah, it's just barely missed chances for Koki. But I'm sure that he will bounce back from this. But going into his decklist, pretty standard as well. Similar decklist to Hasegawa Akira. I really don't see any differences. Is there any? He doesn't play shifter on Hasegawa doesn't play shifter, but Koki plays shifter this time on his side deck and plays the Delta and Gamma package as well. It's really notable from Koki Kosaka and Hasegawa. I think this will be a very trend or popular choice moving forward towards this format after the post-Japan Championship 2023 tournament, and also play Summon Limit on the side deck. So yeah, I think great players think alike with Hasegawa and Koki. But even though it is 8th place, it is no mean feat. I think this is a very solid top for his resume once more. And yeah, I really look forward for Koki Kosaka to compete on big tournaments moving forward. So he plays the 4 higher Donner on the extra deck. I think 4 higher can be very beneficial on outing problematic monsters on the format, something like Baguska, those Floodgate monsters, and Azalea as well. Really stable here for purely for a very long time. it can really out as well problematic cards. So yeah, this sums up our video. Congrats to the top 5 players that qualified for the tournament of World Championship and the top 8 players here that really did an amazing feat on their resume on Japan. So thank you for watching this video. Hit the subscription button if you're not yet subscribed on my YouTube channel, and hit the like button on this video if you like this kind of content. So see you on the next one. Peace.
Fighting ways to get away, to see you again, see you again.